Is anybody else just absolutely drained?
Are we all just going to work until we die?
It is not normal in society right now.
It's starting to feel permanent.
I'm literally so fed up living paycheck to paycheck.
Can't afford coffee, can't afford basic necessities.
I'm so tired. And I'm 31.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy J2ASMS. I'm back with another banger for y'all. Today what we're going to be getting into is talking about how people are getting absolutely obliterated and destroyed by this current economy.
Would you get out of here?
If you don't want to end up like one of the people in this video, make sure you toss me a like and a sub down below. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. We are trying to get this channel to 1,000 subs as quickly as possible so that we can help as many people as possible achieve their dreams and avoid the different pitfalls of the people that we see in these videos. So again, toss a like and sub to your boy. Love you. Without further ado, let's get into our first clip.
Is anyone else sick and tired of always feeling like you're living paycheck to paycheck and always being broke no matter how much you feel like you're cutting back? Budgeting for your groceries or your gas or whatever your extra spending. And it doesn't matter how much money you make because you always feel like if you make more money, you spend more money, which is probably true. But then you're just in this vicious cycle and you're like, wow, when is it ever going to end? It has to end. This economy's going to get better, right? And then boom, it doesn't.
She's very self-aware, but very contradictory. She's saying that she's aware that if she were to make more money, that she feels that she would spend more money, which is honestly what a lot of people do, right? People see people and like, oh yeah, they made 500K. But yeah, if you're spending 500K, then you're broke. Just as if you make 10 bucks and you spend 9 bucks, then you got $1. You know what I'm saying? Like the scale is different, but the end result is really the same.
You're in debt, you're broke.
Yes, times are extremely difficult, but if you don't do anything to kind of cut the buffer and allow yourself to save something for yourself to fight against inflation by, investing in some type of stock or, asset that accumulates interest instead of takes interest away from you like debt does, then, you're just as much as the problem. You're not doing anything to help yourself. Obviously, y'all watching my videos is gonna do something to help yourself because we get educated. We got smart kings and queens on this channel.
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Is anybody else just absolutely drained? Like my hair is like a mess. I'm tired. I'm so tired. And I'm 31. I'm not even close to retirement. Like how there has to be other people going through this. I've obviously seen videos. I don't live under a rock, but like this economy and like what's going on, this is like scary. Like I work so much and so hard, but I'm still not comfortable. It's like being in a literal hamster wheel. Monday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Friday, Saturday. Like
if she works a ton and she still feels like she's on the hamster wheel, there's really only one of three things that's going on. Either the current job that she's working is just not making enough money to sustain even her minimum lifestyle, which is totally possible, and that would most likely mean that she's on minimum wage, or it means that her lifestyle is too big for the amount of money that she's making, and so she should probably have a cheaper car than what she has if she does have it, or she does have a cheaper rent than what she has if she has it, or a cheaper house, or maybe she had some kids at a certain time that she couldn't afford in her life and it put her in a tough spot. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like some type of number of things where she's not able to afford her lifestyle. And again, that's for just basic necessities. Or she's buying a whole bunch of stuff that she don't need, not keeping track of a lot of money that she has, and it's just going to things that she sees as necessities, but is really extra, like going out to eat a ton for fast food, getting DoorDash delivered to her doorstep. Right? Like, yes, it is food and food is a necessity, but the way that you're getting it and the ease of that luxury of having someone bring it to you is not a necessity, right? Maybe she's going to a super expensive grocery store. And again, food is a necessity, but maybe she's spending it in a way that's not as efficient and effective as it could be for her to save more money. No one's saying that she can't do stuff, but maybe instead of taking some type of extravagant vacation that she might be taking, maybe she could just go to the local beach or the local park or like some type of local event that's a little bit cheaper or a lot cheaper. There's ways to get around things. Like you can't get lost in the noise of like all the different things that people are saying, because there are tons of people that are getting things done. But I really truly believe that it's just a mindset.
Every time I see something from Gen X and Boomers about how younger generations just don't want to work anymore, we do want to work, but we want to be able to live because we're working. You had the opportunity to be able to afford all the things that you need, a place to live, to be able to do things that you want because you went to work. We could all be working 40, 60 hours a week, and we still can't afford afford to do anything, let alone save any money, and then be able to save up for a house. People my age have no hope. The only house that I will ever get will be the one that my parents live in right now after they die. That's the only house that I have any hope of ever having.
The housing market is just very tough right now. A lot of boomers, as they say, the boomer generation, like 1960s, they of home buying age around like that like 90s, early 2000s time span where they were giving out housing loans like freaking, I don't even know, it was dishing them shits out like Magic Johnson.
I came down.
That's just not the way things are right now. Interest rates are super high. Homes are super expensive to get. And that's just the way things are. Every generation deals with certain things that are difficult. That's not to say that it's impossible. We have to work a little bit smarter, not necessarily harder, in the ways that we go about different things so that we can achieve some of the different things that other generations had. Or, you know, different personal financial goals that you had. You know what I'm saying? You might not be able to have everything. Maybe if you do want the house, maybe you can't take the vacations and the, you know, buy all the food and, you know, go out all the time and do other things. Like, it's a balancing act for a lot of people, I think. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't afford to do everything. Some people can't afford to do a lot. It depends on your personal circumstances and where you're at in life. But ultimately, to get what you want, regardless of where you fall on the scale, is like you're going to have to do some balancing and sacrifice some things. And you're going to have to work really hard and have a positive mindset. That's really how it goes.
I've been seeing so many videos on here from people all over the country who are exhausted and depleted and scrambling to make rent with multiple jobs and really losing their humanity. Can't afford vacations, can't afford coffee, can't afford basic necessities of life.
The less you are, the less you express your life, the more you have, the greater is your alienated life, and the greater is the saving of your alienated being.
We are finding out by the day that the man or capital will grind every last drop of your life out of you until there's nothing left.
Working jobs that you don't like, that you don't care about, or overworking yourself takes you away from the things that you actually enjoy in life, like sports or spending time with people or going out to drinks or whatever. And it makes you want to work less, but you can't. And I get that. But the thing is that at a certain point, you have to sacrifice some of the things that you want to do the things you don't want for most people in order to stack some bread and be able to live a life that you want. You know what I'm saying? And there's also a lot of free things that you can do. Bro, there are tons and tons of unused resources in cities and towns that people just don't use or go to. A lot of places here in Massachusetts, like we have local town fairs, we have free concerts, you can go for a jog, physical wellness, like gyms around here are super inexpensive. You can also go to local parks where people are working out for free. You can go to sip and paints that are super inexpensive. Like there's tons and tons and tons of resources and different activities that don't cost a ton of money, but people just, I feel like, don't put in a lot of effort to seek out different opportunities or do a lot of different things, and rather they either just want to go into debt to do something expensive that they think they want to do, or they just start complaining and don't do anything. Look into local resources to save some bread, guys.
I was talking to my parents last time about how I'm thinking about going out and getting another job because things are so expensive in California already. I mean, rent is insane. Winning 3 times the rent is freaking insane. Like, who? Come on. Even in crappy ass apartments, like, let's be real. You know what their answer was? Well, you need to be careful because you're taking time away from your kids. You are gonna have someone else raise your kids. I'm like, my sister's watching my kids. What am I supposed to do? Not work? Become homeless? Take advantage of the government system like half of America does already? I'm trying to do things the right way. What else am I supposed to do?
It sounds like she has a family, like she has some kids, and you might not necessarily have a partner, as she's saying, to, you know, watch her kids while she's working. And so she's in a really tough situation where she has to essentially never see her kids and have someone else, like the babysitter, I'm assuming, or a grandmother, or, you know, her partner, whoever, you know, raise her kids. And that's just very difficult. And so that's a situation that you want to avoid. And there's a lot of different ways to go about it. Think really thoroughly about when it is that you're deciding to have a kid, and make sure that you're fully financially stable and aware of what it is that you're doing going into it from a financial standpoint, right? And not just like, oh, I want to have a kid and just having it. Or, you know, you're super intentional about how you go about your life before you decide to have a kid, and, you know, try to get your finances in order, get financially stable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a parent, so I can't specifically speak to her situation, But just looking at it from a factual standpoint as an outsider to parenthood, it's like, before I personally want to have kids, like, I want to make sure that all of my finances are in the best possible space so that I am able to do some of those things that I personally want to do in my own life to still be able to have fulfillment and enjoy, but also be able to be there for my family so that I don't have to have, 4 jobs and have my babysitter or my spouse with the kids all the time and I never get to see them. To me, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a family. It's like, it's there to raise them and have that enjoyment of seeing them come up. And if you're not there to do that, that's just a really tough thing. I know things happen and some people get put in situations where they kind of have no other choice. But for those of you that do have a choice, and I'm getting to you before you get into certain type of situations, think that through.
I've worked my entire life, and my partner, my husband, have worked our whole lives to get our credit scores really good, right? We both have like an 815 credit score, okay? And right now we're trying to get a new RV, and not even like a super expensive one, like $70K, which I know seems expensive, but in camper world it's not that crazy. And they are like fighting us so hard on getting a loan for that, because our income like isn't high enough. And in reality, our household makes like probably like $4,000 a month, like $3,000 to $4,000 a month. And I think that that's absolutely crazy, because I feel like we make good money for people our age and in our situation. And the fact that we have that income plus good credit scores and still can't get it, that makes me feel really scared and sorry for people.
Usually companies are willing to give out loans like nothing. So if the bank or whoever she's trying to get the loan from in order to afford the RV is declining them, that means that either she's not being forthcoming with what her actual credit score is, and it's a lot lower than what she's leading on, or she just really cannot afford the RV. So really the banks is doing her a favor by not putting them in a terrible situation where they would have to end up, selling the RV or going into infinite amounts of debt to afford something that they can't afford. And it sounds like they make really good income. And so it's like, why would you go into extreme amounts of debt to try and get something that you can't afford, to put you in a position where you can't afford your regular life necessities just for something that you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you wait a couple years and stack some more bread so that you can take out a lower loan to get it. Or maybe you stack enough bread where you're able to buy it outright. I feel like people are just in a cycle of just wanting what they want right now. And it just ends up putting them in a terrible position and screws them over long term.
It is not normal in society right now. Everyone is so tired and drained and exhausted and emotionally dysregulated, and their bodies have all, physical issues just from stress and anxiety alone. There's just this intensity that I feel internally, and like my intuition is picking up on it because there is so much grief in the world right now, and there's so much divide, not only politically, but just with people's mindsets and their energy. It's great that there's this collective consciousness and this shift in how we, value ourselves and place worth on ourselves outside of this capitalistic hellhole. But, all we can really keep doing right now is taking care of ourselves and fighting so that in the future we can make changes that we need to see.
I think bro brings up a good... Bro, I was afraid to turn on my fucking screen. I can't let y'all see the secrets, man. I can't let y'all see the edits. I be on here like... at night, like... Anyways. I think bro brings up a really good point about just taking care of your mental health and your body. We talk a lot about financial well-being and financial understanding on this channel and just overall intelligence, but another aspect of it is taking care of your body. You can't go out and put your you can't put your best effort forward when you go out and work your job to try and stack bread, or work multiple jobs, or go for that promotion, or try to develop a side hustle or side passion project or business if your mind and your body is not well taken care of. And you need to prioritize sleep, at least getting 6 hours. They say you're supposed to get 8, but a bare minimum 6.
You dare to order me? Feel the wrath of my rainbow.
Make sure you go to the gym and try to eat as healthy as possible. Like, these are all really important things that are just as important to life as your financial well-being. The only thing that I will say is that, if you have to sacrifice for a certain amount of time some of the other things to get your finances in order, it becomes a lot easier if you're not constantly scrambling and, have your back against the wall trying to figure out how to live. And it's a lot easier, like mentally and both physically, to take care of yourself. If you saw or heard anything that was informative, entertaining, or helpful in this video, if you could drop a like and a sub on the video, I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. I love y'all. But until next time, YouTube thinks you'll like one of the videos popping up down below. Make sure y'all taking care of your mental, financial, and physical well-being. Until next time, J2A SMS out of here.